What's up, YouTube? It is your boy JB, and we are here with the review for Love During Lockup, you guys. Season 3, episode 64, you guys. The episode was titled Bye Bye Love. Alright, you guys, so before we get into this review, if you guys are watching this video or any other on the channel and you guys are not subscribed to the channel, then do me a solid favor by liking the video, turning your notifications on, sharing the video, and subscribing to the channel. And you guys, with that out of the way, without further ado, let's discuss Love During Lockup, shall we? So the first person we're going to talk about today is Indy. Indy is a complete fool. Like, that's literally all I got to say about Indy. So you guys know that Indy is going to be packing up her life in Maryland and going to be moving to Ohio to be with Harry, right? So she's taking she and her daughter down there to be with Harry, which I still to this day don't understand why she's doing that, because it's just really stupid to me, right? So we see her mom, she comes over, and like I said, Indy is packing. Indy has this U-Haul truck, right? And her brother is coming to help her. So Indy, like when your mama asks you, so where are you gonna stay at when you get to Ohio? When Indy said she's gonna stay at a hotel, she's just gonna park the truck outside of the hotel and just stay in the hotel. I'm like, so you just up and decided to leave and had nowhere to go stay? That's not that smart. That's really stupid, right? And her mom, I'm like, really? I would have thought mama would have said, girl, that is dumb as fuck. Like, really? You finna pack up your life here and move to another state, but you're moving to another state and you have nowhere to stay. How much sense does that make? You don't have a place to stay and you don't have a job. So what are you really doing? And all of this behind Harry makes zero sense to me, right? So then they're driving, right? So they make a stop, and when they get out the car, that's when her mom decided to talk to her about Harry. Now, previously, when they were driving, Harry called Indy on the phone, right? And, he was talking to her, and Indy was telling him, how the family just feels a way about him. Rightfully so. So then when they pulled over at the gas station, her mom and her brother, they talked to her. So her mom showed her what she found on Harry about the kidnapping and the fact that Harry kidnapped the man. And when she told Indy that, Indy was like, I already knew that. And, what age does that say? I'm like, what age does that say? It doesn't matter what age that says. The fact is, Harry kidnapped someone. She's trying to say he was young when he did it. Okay, he still kidnapped someone. So what are we talking about at this point? Like, that's, child, Indy is something special, right? Then they make it to the hotel that they're staying at, and that hotel was an absolute hell to the no. That shit wasn't cleaned. And I'm like, again, we're in a panini, so no, absolutely not. Wouldn't have been me. And I think she's, no. No, 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 no. No. Let's move on, you guys. Alright, you guys, next up, let's talk about Gabby. So we see Gabby. So Gabby is at work. So Gabby lets us know that she's a service girl at a strip club, right? And she lets us also know that Chris has no idea about this, right? Now, you guys remember that Gabby said that Chris gave her that $60,000, right? Well, the reason that Gabby is working is because Gabby doesn't have any money left over from that $60,000. I'm like, I'm not even the slightest bit surprised that she has no money left over from that 60K, because what did she say she did with it? She did one smart thing with it. She paid off her debt, right? She paid off all her debt, but then you bought that car. You got to keep the maintenance up on the car. Like, you did a lot of things that, and then, so yeah, Gabby, I'm not surprised that you're working, right? So we see Gabby, she's talking to one of her co-workers, and she's still thinking about the situation with Chris's mother, right? You guys remember Chris's mother in last week's episode told her that Chris said, don't come up to the prison. He's thinking that the feds might pick him up or something like that. But Gabby's wheels are turning. She's saying, she's asking her coworker, should I pull up to his mom's house? Because I don't really trust what she's saying. And I was like, negative. Please don't pull up to that woman's house, because if you get into it with that woman and she fights you, then you brought it on yourself, right? So then we find out a little bit more about Chris, right? So Gabby lets us know that Chris has an ex that, he had been talking to while he was been in jail, right? And, this ex let her know that Chris has been denying the fact that she's his wife. Well, technically, he's not denying the fact that you're his wife because technically you guys aren't legally married. So there's no denying of being married to you, right? So the girl recorded their phone conversation, right? So Gabby plays it for her coworker, right? And you can hear Chris on the recording. He's just laughing at the situation, right? And, she said they talked about it, right? And it's just like, but once again, Gabby, you and Chris aren't married, so I don't understand what you're talking. I mean, I get it. It seems like he's playing you, but once again, you guys are not married. You might say you're engaged to him, but until there's a legal document that says you guys are married, you're not married. And then the girl sent her a text message, said, tell your husband to stop calling me. So then after that, we see Gabby, she got off of work and she calls someone up to meet her. So we'll see who that is that Gabby's going to be meeting in, I guess, in the next episode. I'm not certain, but we'll see. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and just put Max in here because Max is just a no for me. I don't understand Max. I don't really like Max's storyline. I think Max is hella fucking creepy. But we see Max, he's out with his two friends, right? I'm not going to say anything about his friends, but I'm pretty sure you guys can get my drift where I'm going, right? So he's talking about Tara. Now, you guys remember that in the last episode, he found out that Tara had been out of jail for, at least a month or so, right? So Max is like, maybe Tara is trying to, she got out of jail. She's trying to get reacclimated to life, being on the outside world. So he's, kind of trying to be okay with that situation, right? But then Max got a phone call from another inmate. I'm like, so you go from one inmate to another one, and then all you know about this woman is that you saw a picture of her and she's hot, right? You can't say her name on camera. All right, you guys, sorry. So the camera cut off. Didn't have enough storage on the phone to record. So Max, he doesn't know anything about this woman. He can't say her name on camera. They didn't show the woman's photo, so there's got to be something with that, right? And then also, Max doesn't even know why this woman is in prison. Well, she's actually in jail awaiting trial. So when she was, talking to him, at one point the phone cut off, right? So then she came back on and she called him back, and then the phone hung up again. So Max doesn't know why this woman is in jail. So then he went back and talked to his friends. And he's talking to his friends and he's telling his friends, he was like, yeah, there's another inmate. He was like, she's in jail. I don't know why she's in jail. He's like, and I don't want to know why because I don't want to judge her. I think you would want to know why she's in jail and not even for a judgment reason. You wouldn't be I don't know if you would want to be talking to a murderer or something like that, right? I don't necessarily know that that's what you would want, right? Now, he does know a little bit, he does know certain things about the woman. Un pequeño, right? Un pequeño. But he knows that the woman is she went to college. She lives in Vegas. She's into the adult life. She's into the adult life stuff, right? So that's right up his alley. And one of his friends, so is it just about sex? He says, that's part of it, but not all of it. I'm like, oh, God. So you're looking for somebody to do OnlyFans with. Cool. That is if the woman doesn't go to prison for years. And it's dependent on what she did, right? Like, I would love to know what the woman did because he doesn't know. You guys, let's move over to Santiba. Santiba's another lost cause. And then, in this episode, when they showed a couple's pictures, right? I looked at how old Santiba was. It said that Santiba is 39 years old. I was like, ooh, somebody's lying about their age or someone's had a hard life. One of the two. So Tulsi calls her, right? When Tulsi called her, this conversation that they had was extremely short, right? He ended up telling her that if she wants to talk about something, email him and he'll call her. I'm like, so you just wasted her time just to say, hey, he's talking about his release, right? But then after that, they probably probably what happened is they probably had a longer conversation, but for time's sakes, they had to cut it short. So then her mother comes over, right? And, she wants, she is talking to her mother, right? So she's telling her mother that she's thinking about moving to Georgia. Her mother believes that she's moving too fast. I'm like, I agree with you, mama. She's moving too fast, right? So then her mother says, how much money have you given this man, in prison, right? She said thousands of dollars. I was like, thousands of dollars? Why? What the is he gonna do with thousands of dollars in prison, right? So she said that actually her mother said in this scene that, she's helped Santiva out in recent years, right? Recently she's helped Santiva out. And her mama feels some type of way about the fact that Santiva has sent this man money instead of paying her money back. Yeah, I don't blame her mama. I don't blame her at all. But I'm just still stuck on the fact that Santiva is willing to move to Georgia. So her family is in that area where she is now, right? She has no family in Georgia. So I'm like, so you just don't, like, you just as dumb as Indy is. You're just as dumb as Indy. You're going to uproot your life for a dude that you don't really know. You know him through phone conversations and you know him through emails and letters. Why would you uproot your life like that? Like, that shit just makes no sense to me. Makes zero sense to me. But hey, it's their lives. They're going to do whatever they want to do. And who am I to judge? But let's move on. All right, you guys. Next up, let's talk about Haley and Dalton. These people are just not the brightest, right? They're not bright at all. Like, and when you look at someone like Haley, right? Haley just gives you the vibe that this is her first relationship. Although she was engaged to Hendrix, that's her son's name. Although she was engaged to his father, the way she acts when it comes to Dalton, she just acts like this is her first relationship. Like when Dalton calls, Dalton's calling, Dalton's calling. So she answers the phone, right? So Haley is still not going to tell Dalton about the fact that she met up with his father. And the fact that she said that that is a white lie. No, ma'am. A white lie is like telling someone, a friend who's sick, if they say, how do I look? You tell them you look good, but you're trying to lift their spirits. That's a white lie, when you're trying to either lift someone's spirits or not trying to hurt someone's feelings. Those are white lies. What you're doing is a blatant lie. This man asked you not to reach out to his father, but you did it anyway. You met up with his father, and now you're keeping it a secret from him. That is just an overall lie. So yeah, girl, whatever, right? So he's asking her, what is she gonna do for the night? She's telling him, oh, nothing, just gonna be me, hanging out at home. So then we see her, she and her friend, they went out to one of those bars on Deep Ellum. I don't know which bar it is that she went to. Child, Deep Ellum, that is a place that I try to avoid, I try to avoid it driving wise. Like, I would never drive to Deep Ellum because the parking down there is terrible any time of the day. You can never find anywhere to park in that area. So if you guys are visiting Dallas and you guys want to check out Deep Ellum, my suggestion to you guys is ride the Dart. That's our train system in Dallas. Ride the fucking Dart, because as far as finding a parking space in Deep Ellum, it's abysmal. Did you guys see when Haley was trying to get out that car, how she had to squeeze out of that car? That's because that area, like I said, the parking is terrible. And then people down there, they can't park. It's like, y'all park so, like, I don't understand how people don't know. Like, can you not see the goddamn lines? Like, yeah, if you go on the Deep Ellum, take the Dart. It literally lets out right there in that area. And it's just a big area, you guys. Everything is walking distance, so you don't have to worry about that. So yeah, if you're in Dallas, you want to check out Deep Ellum, ride the Dart. Ride the Dart. That's my suggestion. Ride the Dart. So then her and her friend Emily, they're talking, right? I love how Emily told her, because she asked Emily, would you date someone that's in prison? She said, hell no. And then Emily had to hit her with, like, if I sat there and talked to you about someone that's in prison that I'm dating, what would you say to me if I talked like you do? She says, I would think you're stupid, right? Ding, 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 ding. You sound stupid. And basically, Emily and her mother, which we'll talk about in just a minute, Emily and her mother are trying to get her to see that, only thing you have from Dalton are letters. phone calls. That's it. But other than that, he got you locked down. You are not living your life. You're living your life as if you're in prison as well. So then we do see Haley. Her mom, and her son Hendrix, they went out, right? And she got a call from Dalton, right? He asked her what is she doing. She told him she's out with her mom and Hendrix. So then, he asked her what did she do the night before, right? And she told him she went out with Emily. See, he said, I knew in my head, I had a feeling that you were lying, and I'm always right about these things, right? And I was just like, sir, once again, you're in prison. She's free. Why can't she go out with her friends? And I guess he don't like Emily, or he doesn't like some of her friends. Bro, that ain't got shit to do with you. Like, sit your ass in that prison cell and shut the fuck up. Like, the fuck? Fuck a Dalton. I mean, he hung up on her, and I would have been like, oh, okay. You that mad, huh? Whatever. Y'all, and we finna wrap this episode up with Hottie, Ty, and Boston. This is a shit show, you guys. So we see Heidi. So she's at work with her boss, right? And she's telling him about the day she had. And, he asked her how did it go. She said it went good. It felt nice to be out with someone who's in the free world. He said, did you guys touch? She said, oh, yeah, we definitely touched and kissed, right? So then, he asked her, does Heidi know about this situation? She says, no, Heidi does not know about this situation. So then in the middle of that, she gets a phone call from Heidi, and she takes it. He was looking at her like, really? In the middle of work, you're about to take this phone call. So she goes and takes a phone call from Heidi, right? So Heidi calls her to basically tell her, hey, Boston, she's tripping. I don't know what the fuck is going on with her. So he did say that him and Boston have known each other for 12 years, right? And I think he said about 4 years ago they got sexual, but then he said to her that him and Boston had sex in November, right? And he said he was using her for her stimulus check, and she sent it to him. I was like, damn, Boston, if you literally sent that man your stimulus check, you're stupid. So then after that, we see another scene with Hottie, and not Hottie, but Ty, right? So Ty, she's with her friend, right? And she sees on Instagram that Boston has posted nudes of her, right? So what happened is, she went, and also Boston said that, not Boston, but Hottie said he did it. So I guess Hottie did a phone call with somebody, right? And they posted it on Facebook. So he went live. They went live on Facebook, and he was, talking, telling Boston that it ain't shit between me and you. That Ty is my bitch. She said, I'm not your bitch. I'm your girl. And then he was talking about the stimulus, and she started thinking like, damn, he used her for her money, but shit, I've sent him about $15,000. I was like, 15 what? So then moving back over to the news, right? So the news are on Instagram. I'm like, how are you able to post news on Instagram? Because they'll snatch that shit in a heartbeat, right? Ask Rihanna when she posted her nudes of her breasts, right? Snatched it right off there, right? So she goes inside and she talks to Heidi's cousin, right? So Heidi's cousin doesn't really know much about Boston, but she knows that one time she called him on three-way with her on the other line, right? And they had a conversation. So then she calls Boston up and she says, so I'm here with Ty, and Ty said that you posted news on Instagram. Sure did. I was like, you proud of that? So she says, well, she's here and she wants you to come down here so y'all can have a conversation. She says, okay, well, let me get ready and I'll be down there, right? So Ty notices the cameras, right? And she says, and they're like, girl, we got you, right? So then she sees a car pull up. She says, is that her? So she starts running outside, and that's actually where the episode ended, you guys. But yeah. So we'll see. You guys know that there is going to be a scene where Ty and I believe Boston are going to fight, right? So we'll see that at some point. But that's it, you guys. Let me know what you guys thought about the episode. Leave your comments in the comments below. Subscribe to the channel. Turn your notifications on, you guys. Share the video, you guys. And until the next one, stay safe out there. Take care of yourselves. Remember to wash your hands, wear a mask, socially distance, be blessed, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.